Hi, it's Verna from Drayton Valley Library, here with Crafty Kits for you. Today we are going to be making a mayfly. So we had a story that we read about a mayfly, and I thought it would be fun to make a little critter. So here's the little mayfly that I made. There it is. And I've got a picture of a mayfly here that's going to help us out. And pull it a little closer so you can see it. Okay. Now I learned that a mayfly is actually quite small. So the one that I've made is bigger than a real mayfly. It can fit like just on your finger. But anyways, the things to notice here is the mayfly's body. And there's three parts to an insect body. A mayfly is an insect. So we've got a head, we have got a thorax, and we've got the abdomen there. And then of course we have the wings. We have two sets of wings. There's a large set and a smaller set. And we've got some legs. There's actually 6 legs, although I'm not sure this mayfly is waving or something. What's going on there? And you can't see it in this picture. We're not going to worry about this for our craft, but there's actually like 2 or 3 pronged little tail thing. Maybe we could make it. I didn't put it on my other one. But this is also a really nice picture where they caught some colors on the mayfly's wings. Lots of times you don't see that, but I think it depends how the light is shining as to whether or not you can see that. And the eyes on the head we're going to do, and then there's some antenna there as well. So what are you going to need to make this craft? Now the wings that I made, which I thought was really neat, I have some maple tree seeds here, which are kind of cool, and we're going to paint them. But if you can't find these, what else you could do is you could get a coffee filter, and I've got one here that I've painted up so it would do all sorts of different colors and things like that, and you can just cut it out of there. Or really, I mean, any kind of paper that you have you could use for it too. So for the body for our mayfly, you're going to need a stick. Okay. Also, some yarn. We kind of wrapped it around to give it some color and some shape for the different parts, the thorax and the abdomen and everything. You're going to need some glue. For myself, I've got my hot glue gun here, but white glue will work just as well. You are going to need some scissors. We talked about for the wings, you can either have different kind of paper, or you can do the maple tree seeds. And you might want some paint so you can give the wings some color. And then I got 2 tiny little pom-poms for the eyes. The eyes look quite big on there, and I thought pom-poms would do pretty good for that. If you don't have pom-poms, find something else kind of similar that you could use. And I'm using a little bit of wire for the antenna and for the legs, and maybe for those little tail prongs that I talked about there. And that is everything you need. So let's get started on how to make this. So we're going to take our yarn first of all, and we're going to start wrapping it around the stick. And as we do it, we're going to try and notice which parts of the body are thicker than others. So up here on the thorax, it's quite thick, and then it's a bit thinner down here on the abdomen. Okay, so as you wrap it, keep that in mind. So I'm not even gluing it to start with, I'm just wrapping the yarn on top of itself. But when I'm done, I will put a little bit of glue to hold it in place. Okay, so I'm wrapping all the way down because we'll give it a little bit of color pretty much all the way down. But we notice when we look at the picture, that's a bit of a different color, so maybe I won't go quite all the way. And wrap back up towards the abdomen and the head. And this is where I'm going to put most of my yarn, around the abdomen area, because that area is a bit thicker on the mayfly's body. Now, you can decide how much yarn you want to use if you think you've got enough. I just had this little piece here, so I'm just going to use up all of that. And when you get to the end, you can pop a little dab of glue to hold your yarn in place. Oh, come on, hot glue gun. Oh, there we go. That's a bit more than a little dab. And I don't want to get my fingers burnt, so I'm going to use another stick to kind of help me push it down. Okay, yeah, if you've got a hot glue gun, you should let an adult do that because you can hurt yourself with that. Okay, so here's my body that I've got. It's thicker, yarn's thicker at the top. Now, if you haven't done this yet, and I will do this just to show you. So I've got some paint here, and I do have some wings that I've already painted. Maybe I should put this to the side so you can see a little bit better. But I do have some wings that are dry, so I'm going to use those ones in just a second. But let's paint some together just for fun. So I've just got watercolor here, and I'm just taking the watercolor and putting it right on. And then I'm flipping it over, and I'm doing the other side as well. Then I'm just going to let that dry. And as you can see, I'm using newspaper to protect my work surface. So you don't have to use the colors I'm using. You can use any colors you want. As we were looking at our Mayfly picture, those wings are very beautiful. You could even do more than one color on a wing. I just chose to do them this way. So we do both sides. We're going to have to let them sit and dry. So if you're watching the video, you might have to pause the video while they're drying and come back later, or you could watch what to do and then you'll know what to do when they're dry. So here I'm doing this other one with a green, sort of a teal color, and I kind of like that the little oopsies, the little lines in the seed, they kind of look like the little veins in the wings, so that's really neat. Get both sides all over, and one more, because we have two sets of wings. All right, now this one likes to turn, oh sorry, I'm like right off camera there. This one likes to turn my fingers green. See? That happens with painting sometimes. Actually, I made these paints from old dried up markers by putting them into water. If you try that, make sure you don't put too much water in. When you put a lot of water in, then your color doesn't end up being very dark. I'm just going to wipe my fingers on here because I don't have anything else to clean them. Okay, so you'd have to let those dry, but we're going to carry on in the video. So we get our body, and it doesn't really matter what order you do the next few things, although I think the wings are nice to do last because they're a little bit fragile. Okay, so I think let's do some legs. So I'm going to take my wire, cut myself a bit here. You can kind of see about how long, and I'm going to divide this up into about 3 parts for the 3 sets of legs, or 3 pairs of legs. You don't have to be too particular. Now when I looked at some pictures of mayflies, I noticed that one set of legs is very close to the head. So with our wire, we're just going to bend it about halfway. Then you're going to go on top of the body and then just twist it. Twist it on to make it stay. Now you could also glue it if you want. That's an option. But the twisting was pretty nice, I think, and you don't have to worry about glue. Okay. Then another set of legs was in about the middle of the thorax. So the thorax is the fat part that we did near the top. It's the middle part of an insect's body. I'm just trying to get mine tight enough to twist it on there. Okay. So now I've got 2 sets. And then the third set was near the bottom. Such skinny wire, I can't pick it up. Come here. I got it. Okay. The third set was near the bottom of the thorax. Okay, and get that twisted on. Now, depending on what wire you've got, and hopefully you've got some wire that's fairly flexible, is now you can bend the legs so that your mayfly will be able to sit up when you place them on a surface. Oh, let me put them back further so you can see. So sitting up like that. In fact, I'm going to slide this newspaper over because I think it makes it a little bit difficult for you to see some of the things we're doing. So let's just slide this guy out of the way. Okay, there, now you can see him sitting up a little bit better. Fix his legs however you want. Okay, so next thing is we're going to put the eyes on. Oh, they're on my newspaper. Here we go. So I'm going to put a little spot of glue on each side of the head, and the insect's eyes are more on the sides of their heads than like us. We've got them right on the front of our heads, but insects and a lot of animals have their eyes more on the side. So I'm using my hot glue gun, but white glue will work just as well. Just have to wait a little longer for it to dry is all. Okay, so careful to not be burning myself. Okay. So there we have the eyes. Those are looking very insecty to me, if that's a word. Now I'm going to use the wire, just a small piece, to make some antenna sticking out of the forehead there. Okay, so I just have a little piece and I'm going to bend it in half. And you could have twisted this on the head, I guess, but for this one I just glued it right on. Pretty much to the front of the head. That's where I'm seeing it when I look in pictures. Okay, so just pop that right on there. Can you see those? Got the little antenna there. Oh, I got a glue string. Okay, and it's getting to the time we need to put our wings on, our beautiful wings. Okay, so the thing I noticed about the mayfly is the front wings are much bigger than the hind wings. So I want you to take one pair of your wings, and for my maple seeds, I'm cutting off that really kind of thick part at the back there. So I'm going to choose my green wings on this one to be the small ones, the ones at the back. And my pink ones, my red ones are going to be the larger ones. Okay, so we're just putting some glue on the abdomen. So for the back ones, closer to the bottom of the abdomen, a bit of glue. And remember, if you don't have the maple seeds, you can always just use any kind of paper, or the coffee filter is fun for putting different colors, getting all different colors on there. Okay, I'm going to use my stick again so I don't burn my fingers. Alright, so there we've got those ones. And now we're going to do the larger ones, just above that, still on the thorax. Okay. So we're just going to pop that on there and pop this one on here. Okay, and there we have it, a little bit of glue strings. There we've got Mayfly number 2 and Mayfly number 1. So hope that you have fun making your mayflies. Thank you for joining me for Crafty Kids, and we'll see you next time.